There's been so much discussion of late around the fact that there's a shortage of premium inventory, and I think the reason we're here at NAB having this conversation is because a lot of folks believe that the share shift that will be driven in the most substantive way will be driven by video from television. So moving traditional to digital, premium video inventory will be the catalyst. And I think it's a great time to talk to Jason from Yahoo. So Jason,
Hello.
if you could just tell us a little bit about what you do at Yahoo and introduce yourself, I'd be grateful.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here. The Yahoo, we deliver premium content across screens at scale. I work in our video group where we've done a lot of large initiatives in video over the last 6 or 8 months. We've made a big investment. Video is a huge priority for us as a media network. We launched a new video site last fall called Yahoo Screen, where we house content from a lot of our premium media partnerships across all of our media network properties, in addition to our stable of original programs. We have made large investments into original programs around women's lifestyle programming. We just recently launched a comedy slate with traditional TV powerhouse and digital powerhouse sort of producers, both through our Yahoo Studios team, where we have facilities now in LA and New York and Sunnyvale. But in addition to like Broadway Video, Funny or Die, I mean, we really are trying to become the first, and I think are the first digital network.
So is the fact that now we're finally seeing a critical mass, sort of IP-enabled televisions, you know, where we have a substantive audience of devices that are actually activated and on, and this proliferation of over-the-top boxes, is that a big factor in Yahoo's investment in video? I mean, what?
Yeah, for us, I think, yeah, because what we're seeing is that every device is connected. So while you are having a huge growth in digital streaming, and it's not necessarily translating into a time shift away from television viewing, so what you're having now is more time spent, but it's fragmented across a lot of different devices. And for us, we needed to have content that was exclusive to us and that we owned distribution rights to be able to then freely distribute that content across devices, but then also then apply kind of our secret sauce of programming, right? So we bring content within context, which is kind of our, I think, our key to success here, right? And we do that through, you know, whether it be algorithmic sort of context or editorial, we still have people that program as well.
That's really interesting, right? Because some of the data, a lot of the data we've seen is that this voracious, insatiable appetite of audiences now to like just consume sight, sound, and motion, right? Which is increasing time spent, you know, year over year on television, as well as increasing video consumption online. How are you, when it comes to actually sort of optimizing content and programming, you know, average video, I think, duration is least on mobile, greater on online, more on tablet, most on IP-enabled televisions.
Sure. I mean, you could, the loose rule is the bigger the screen, the longer you'll sit and watch it, right?
What does that mean for advertisers?
I think for us, we have to optimize ad experiences across screens for similar content, right? So it can't be as simple as having one ad model work across, you know, this ad model for this piece of content no matter where it's distributed. You have to really optimize for the experience and bring the best experience to the consumer. Because then when you do that, you'll see things like where digital traditionally leads over television, where you'll have brand recognition lift and favorability lift and message recall lift. If you can adjust the ad experiences based on the distribution model, I think you can maintain those lifts even over television, even on the big screen.
So where do you think, for the new investment sort of in your content, from where do you think those ad dollars are going to originate? Is it going to be cannibalizing television? Is it new spend? Is it display? I mean, you know, you're going big here, so I don't think it's all net new.
No, certainly I think there's been some, I think the dollars away from television are still a ways off. I think, you know, ultimately, time spent with television isn't dropping, as I said. So it's going to be difficult for marketers, advertisers to pull away right away. We have to show them increased scale, which is frankly a problem with digital right now is the scale and volume of inventory, of premium content, right? So we have to increase scale, but we also have to try and standardize metrics across traditional broadcast television and digital. I think the AOL thing you mentioned was maybe a step in that direction. I don't know if it's quite the right way.
I mean, you know, I doubt you're going to tell me whether or not Yahoo is going to be using GRPs to sell your video inventory, but I would love for this to be a first.
No, I'm not at liberty to disclose anything in that area. I mean, like I said, we have to standardize metrics across screens. I'd say the incentive right now is for digital to try and play ball with the TV side, only because that's the dollars we're trying to take. Why would television adopt necessarily digital metrics, more hard-defined digital metrics for measurement?
So when I hear that though, it's like that's quitting, giving in, right? I mean, to me, all the things that make digital advertising exceptional.
I think you can argue with the creative format of a pre-roll because it's disruptive and sometimes users don't find it appealing. I think it's the most valuable advertising asset available. A user hits play, they're looking at the video screen, the ad comes up. In almost no other medium in any other format can you almost assure that your message is going to be seen by the user, even if only for a few seconds before they divert their eyes. You can't do it in print. You can't do it on television. People fast forward commercials. I'm guilty as charged. I would imagine you are as well. But that format, and I think the derivatives thereof, I think we're getting better as an industry in trying to make advertising that is intrusive enough, and I use that word lightly, that it's noticeable, but not so much that it detracts from the overall experience, right? So I do believe digital is a better way to spend. I do believe the metrics there are better. I'm very pro-digital. It's a space I work in. But the reality is that we have to bring volume to the table to hard sell, I think, with advertisers and marketers and agencies on really shifting, and we're starting next week, right? So next week is the first new front. In New York, Yahoo was one of the founding members. We're very excited to have our presentation. I think we're next Wednesday, the 25th.
Well, I'm going to be there,
so
great. I'm super excited to actually see and experience. Jason, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm really grateful that, first of all, I'm excited that you're at NAB because that says a lot, and I'm grateful that you took the time to join us today, so thank you.
Thank you
and
very
I'll
much.
see you next week.
All right, same here.
All right.
Bye.